Hello and welcome back to another in-depth weather video. Today we are going over the new kind of pattern that we're going to have here because of this broken polar vortex and what that means for the rest of this month, even into early next month. So let's get right on into it. But first, if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Now, I'm on the National Weather Service page. We are starting to see the atmospheric river come into the northwest. We already have a few hydrologic outlooks, we have some high surf warnings, but there is a high probability of some flash flooding in the coastal areas of the northwest, as well as some decent snowfall in the higher elevations of the northwest as well, with of course that atmospheric river. We're also still watching Winter Storm Lana. The link to that video will be in the cards. And then we also have to kind of put a question mark over the northeast, because there could be some nor'easters, or we're just going to be seeing a lot of rain in this general area of southern New England and then parts of the mid-Atlantic. So we're going to get into that a little bit more. So let's first go to the NAM. Alright, so here's the NAM model. This is the 12-kilometer model to get a little bit extra range. Now, of course, we're going to see Lana move off the coast here. I think that a nor'easter is now out of the question with this storm. But then you can see here that this atmospheric river, it's going to be serious, alright? We have very heavy rain, very heavy snow, all kind of coming in at once, and you can see, yeah, right here, that just paints the whole picture here. When you have certain areas, like the Sierra Nevadas getting rain, and probably a lot of it, and some areas just got 50 inches plus of snow, that's going to create huge flooding problems along the coast where that drainage basin is. Then that moves into the northwest and into the country. Now, this storm system could cause problems, especially in parts of the northern plains and the Great Lakes regions with some freezing rain. But right now, we're kind of seeing this trend of these storms kind of going to the north and then possibly coming back down south, which we see with this storm system. This storm system basically comes from the very far north, all the way up here, a major Canadian storm, and that just drops down, and possibly we could see a little bit of snow and a little bit of a clipper system type fashion in parts of the northeast. Now, I think the snow cutoff line will be around New York City. I think that New York might see a little bit of freezing rain out of that if that happens. Again, this is later this week, so we'll get more information as the week goes by. Now, the GFS model takes a completely different approach as it usually does. So Lana moves off the coast. You can see this atmospheric river, still very heavy rain, but most of that heavy snowfall is in Canada instead of in parts of northern Washington. Now, that storm system moves into Canada as well, and we also have that freezing rain, but this has this dropping back into the US with some snowfall and maybe a little bit of strong winds on the back end there, but that then rolls into the northeast, picks up some steam moving into the Maritimes of Canada, and then we get another southern snowstorm in Texas. It's going to be crazy if Texas gets more snow than the northeast and the Great Lakes region this year. But it's just a crazy year. What are you going to do? And it kind of has that trying to form into a nor'easter, but it just doesn't happen. And then you get a few more clipper type systems in the Great Lakes region and the interior northeast, and then that's where the model run ends. The European model now has Lana moving off the coast, doesn't form at all. Kind of has this system now from that atmospheric river. Doesn't have anything really going into Canada. It does, but then it just drops straight into the US. Picks up some steam, gets some heavy snowfall into the Chicago area, and then that moves into the northeast with possible powerful winds, kind of like we saw with Winter Storm Harold, and then some heavy snow behind it. But that really starts to generate some heavy snowfall into the interior parts of Quebec. But the European model is kind of light on precipitation until this point right here, which I think that if this model is right, the northeast could see a few inches of snow. So the models are so different right now that it's kind of hard to predict anything. I think that this northern storm is definitely what we have to start looking at here for our next winter storm, just how that develops. But overall, we're going to be seeing a trend here where we have this ridge in the west, this trough in the east. Now, depending on how that trough occurs, you could see the entire U.S. kind of in more of a springtime like pattern, where most of our heavy snowfall is in the very northern tier of the country. Or you could see some wacky trough trends where you get these storm systems all the way down to the south and yet some southern snowfall. So what do you think is going to happen? Comment in the comment section down below, but that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.